I'll also bring up the subject around 1080 and the destruction it's doing on our deer population. Also, I was going through some old footage for this video back in the 90s. I found in the background amazing bird life. This is all pre-1080. I'll put up one of these clips at the end of this video. I've hunted Sika deer in the Kaimanawa forest for over 35 years. Also set up and collected game camera footage for over 10 years. Where I'm going with this? Well, it's all to do with certain organisations in New Zealand that is encouraging hunters to cull off good breeding hinds. The theory is, by killing off good breeding hinds, this will allow more feed for the stags and you'll get bigger, fatter stags. You got 1080 culling them off, you got hunters being told to cull off good breeding hinds. The hinds are our future. You got females in any species, they are the future. I believe this is only encouraging people to do DOC's work for them. As we know, DOC want all introduced species out of our forests. And that's like deer, pigs, goats, yamita. I've even heard recently they want trout out of the rivers, and then made the comment of we should then farm trout. Hedgehogs are even on their get rid of or kill list. Hedgehogs. The reason I go hunting is for the venison. Most of my mates are all the same. We all like to get perhaps a deer, maybe two under our belt. We share the meat around, being out in the bush, camping, looking around the scrub, enjoying this time with friends and family. That's what it's all about. Getting a deer is a bonus, and on top of that, if you happen to shoot a deer with a decent rack on its head, then that's good too. The squid's just down below me. He's on his way around, or up. Round and up, so he'll be here in about 3 minutes. I can hear him coming. So yeah, better carry this beastie up now. Gut him and carry him. As a mate said to me just a while back, he said not everyone wants to go out and shoot a massive 8 or a big 6. The trophy in itself is just being out in the bush with family, friends, great mates, good times. Back pre-1080, one of my best hunts. I had 3 to 4 stags all around, single calling, roaring, action, and I went home with not a thing after about a 6-hour day. It still remains today to be one of my best hunts ever, just for the pure action I had around me. I believe we have to treat it as if we're farming these animals. If you haven't got good stags in the area and you've got hinds breeding with inferior stags with bad heads, then that's all you're going to ever have. Doesn't matter how much food a stag eats, if you haven't got that gene pool, you haven't got a starting point. You've got to have good genes to produce good stags. A stag that is born has a 4-point, 6-point, the deformed 7, deformed 3-point. Whatever that stag is, it will always stay as that. Those stags with a weak gene pool will always remain that way. About the only thing they contribute to is infecting the quality of our Sika herd. In my opinion, these are the deer we should be culling off and not the hinds. Even this little 8 has little hope due to the small tops and rounded tips. With these stags taken out of the equation, this will heighten the chance that the hind will mate with a much better stag. Just because you don't see these stags out in the bush doesn't mean they're not out there. Set up a few game cameras in an area and you'll be surprised at what you capture on them. Since the early 1980s, I've seen Sika deer numbers go from moderate to high numbers, in some areas now very low numbers. The main contributing factor for this was the 2 1080 drops in the Kaimanawa forest. .1080 has a massive by-kill. The first 1080 drop in the Kaimanawas, I was actually possum trapping in the area, me and a friend, under our permit, and we actually had to pack up and leave as the green rain fell. We were given no warning. I went in after the 1080 drop and found a few dead carcasses of deer, took a few photos, took out over 60%. Second drop, which was only about 3 to 4 years later, took out about 30%. And the reason for that was, as they finished their drop, it started raining, absolute pissing down, and it stayed that way for a week. we've noticed a massive decline in hind numbers in the last 5 to 7 years. We've also noticed stags that normally wouldn't come out in the day are out wandering around looking for hinds. Now normally these stags would stay into the thick scrub and wouldn't come out till after dark. Our roars, we've also noticed, are getting much shorter, down to about 3 weeks in April now, whereas once they used to go right through April, May. Some years our Mays were as good as April. So I guess the point I'm trying to get across, with 1080 killing thousands of hinds per year, is targeting good breeding hinds really a good option. I think we need these animals out on the hill breeding for our future. Yeah, my bullet's gone straight through too, because look, right there, through his neck, into that tree. There's some fur, bit of deer fur around there. There's fur all the way up here, actually. It was a good shot. There you go. Small detour like that, just to come over and have a wee look. It was a very nice hunting ground in here. I was getting quite keen. There you go. Righto.